Alright, we are live. Here's, I may have needed to adjust the mic level. Hope you can hear me. I don't think anyone is actually on yet. I'm sure they will be. Yep, we are live. Hi everyone, and hope you're all doing okay. I was having some internet trouble earlier. It seems to be good now. It's been pretty good for the past hour and a half. So I don't expect we will have any more problems, but if it goes down, you'll know that's why. And unfortunately, that might just happen. If we miss too much of it, I might try to have another stream in the next couple days. Probably Saturday would be when I would move it to. But at the moment, hopefully, we will be able to stick with this. So, without further ado, let's play some Wild Arms 2. Hey, I see Nick is in the chat right there. Hi Nick, how you doing? That's good. Glad to hear it. I am actually going to turn it up a little. I had turned it down because it was like at max volume, but I turned it down too much. There we go. That's a good one. Can you hear me okay? I'm trying not to make too much noise because Rachel's taking a nap. Love that trumpet lick. Okay, good. Good. Anyway, so wasn't able to stream last week because I was too tired, but I'm feeling much better this week. So last time that we did anything, it was we got through a bunch of stuff. We got through Grousevine. Well, before Grousevine was rescuing Marina, who had been kidnapped. Okay. And then Grousevine, the nuclear dragon that threatened to destroy the world. And then we were like, you know, it'd be cool if we had a dragon that was on our side. So we got Lombardia. This Crest S that we picked up in Lost Garden is an extra powerful. Like 1.5 times the power. So I like to put it on Saber, a non-elemental spell. It can be like your general purpose attack spell. So we haven't done a ton of optional levels so far, but we are going to do one now, which is the most important optional level. It's called Crimson Castle, and it's where we're going to pick up our last character. There's no part of the game that is like that you're required to experience that tells you about Crimson Castle, but it's also not hard to stumble upon. If you look at the mini-map in the lower left, we've got tells you about a bunch of items, and then the brighter green spots are entire areas, whether towns or dungeons. So it's easy to find the Crimson Castle right here. Now, the downside is Crimson Castle, it is fairly easy to get lost. So you're gonna have to kind of wander around for a bit. That's okay. Did we get? No, we have not gotten the Eagle Claw. And then after we get Marivel, we'll start on the Raypoints. Didn't work. I think this was the wrong way, actually. I think this is... Well, it might connect. Yeah, okay. Right. Let's try that. Point there, and made that. Alright, we gotta lower these 3 blocks here. There's number 1. What are these zombies? Or whatever they're supposed to be. Freaky. But I missed, so. There we go. that's all three of them. Now we gotta go back the way we came. Because the room where you move forward here, we were already there, but we haven't loaded the things yet. Red Barney. If I recall correctly, this creature had a completely different name in the Japanese version, and I think the localization team were like, we don't know how to translate that. It looks like Barney the dinosaur, but red. So there we go. It's a Red Barney now. Keeps dodging my attacks. Did I equip Lilka with a... Yep, I sure did. Good thinking, past me. They seem determined to paralyze Lilka today, and it's not working. Who's going this way? Alright. To darkness this path does lead. He who is from the land of the sun must leave, if life to him is dear. Fools, mistake not foolhardiness for bravery. Know thou art headed down the path to darkness. Signs are like really trying to keep you out here. That's not a Red Barney. Gala Eater? But I need my Gala to buy goods and services. Actually, not really. Gala isn't that important in this game. King of the Dark World has ruled Vilgaia since time immemorial. Oh boy. They seem determined to poison us. Here we go. There she is. Marivel, of course, is a Crimson Noble, which, as previously established, is basically just vampires by another name. The more interesting thing about the character is the backstory she had with Ashley, which we saw a few chapters ago. That section called the Memory Maze, where essentially Ashley made contact with Anastasia the Sword Mages and her memories. And because her memories included Marivel, Ashley made contact with Marivel. But that was in Marivel's distant past, which is why she knew about him at the start of the game when she didn't seem to know about any of the other characters, and he didn't know about her. It's an interesting little plot point that doesn't really affect the grander picture, but it just gives the whole thing so much more of a sense of, what do we call it, a sense of an epic story. What brings you here? She's like, hey, I'm just chilling in my coffin. You know, like Missy from Friday Nights. I don't know if anyone watches Friday Night. Is my internet still working? Yeah, okay. It occurred to me just now that if my internet does crap out and I lose the stream, I'm not sure if I would know right away. It's obviously not going to affect the game because that runs locally, and you would notice right away. But sometimes people just don't say anything in chat for a while, and that's just normal because I don't have a ton of people who watch my streams. So I don't know. I hope it doesn't happen. I hope everything's good. Actually, all I have is pause. Oh, I do see Claire is in chat. I haven't seen that she said anything, though. Anything. She just said anything. That's our Claire. Glad to see you here, by the way. Yeah, really. We are the Immortals, Crimson Nobles, supreme species of Filkaya. We are the absolute, true, one and only rulers of Filkaya. Oh, brother, what a windbag. I love Lilka. Is the idea of Crimson Nobles still weird? Not really. The Kuiper Belt. Ah, yeah, that makes sense. First Odessa, then the Kuiper Belt. Why is such evil attack below? We will tolerate no more of this. I love how cartoonishly condescending she is. Otherwise, the proud Crimson Noble would never help you lowly humans. Just forgot this. We will use a bit of lost technology to give it a cute but exciting upgrade. There, all finished. How's that for a nice power-up? What do you mean it looks the same? Amateur. Now you can view the map scope while in transit by projecting the image onto your retina. So, Marivel invented Google Glass? Anyway, there we go, we have the whole party now. Whee, Marivel! Rachel is particularly fond, right? I love her hair too. Rachel is particularly fond of Marivel's run animation, the way that her, it shows like her feet going. It's very cute. Let's bring her into the party, actually. So Marivel starts with just a couple skills. One of them is the ability to learn new abilities from monsters. I'm told the Final Fantasy name for this is a blue mage, but I don't know. That's just something I've heard. Okay. She's also got under the equip, yeah. Hob and Knob are her little floating guys. She's got a little red and blue floating guy, which I think she confirms at one point are robots that she created. Anyway, before we go to the next area, let's go to a town that may or may not seem familiar to you. Fried seasoned biscuits. There must be a pun there that I'm not seeing at the moment. Hobnobs are a kind of biscuit we have here in the... Gotcha. I mean, I've heard the term hobnob before, but I didn't know it was the name of a biscuit. When you say biscuit, do you mean a cookie? We Americans, we have things we call biscuits, but they're not the same thing that you mean, I think. Separated by a common language. Anyway, so Palace Village. It's ironic, given that the rest of the world is covered in darkness, that this is the first time. Yeah, that this is the first time we get to see Palace Village in the quote-unquote daytime. It's not really day, because like I said, the sky is all distorted and all that stuff, but it is brighter than it was in the very beginning of the game. Oh my god, my computer's doing that thing again. For some reason the down arrow seems to get stuck sometimes. Anyway, this is the town that Lilka accidentally teleported to during her prologue way back at the very beginning of the game. So if it seems familiar, that's why. Yay! I'd be even happier if the sky wasn't so weird. It's that little kid. He was so impressed with Lilka's magic. Anyway, but the main reason that we stopped by here is to fill up Marivel's personal skill points. A new character, she came in at level 34, and characters get 1 personal skill point per level, so she's got a lot to use up. How is Brad still only level 32? Alright, at this point we'll save. Oh, I forgot to do something. Shoot. We have to go back to Crimson Castle. Because I forgot to pick something up that's very important. Oops. Sorry, dude. The thing about introducing a character most of the way through the game is that because each character is supposed to have 3 tools and 4 force abilities and a whole bunch of spells and equipment and stuff that they can acquire over the course of the game, the developers have to compress all of that acquisition to, you know, it's the same amount of stuff, but it's all at the end. So she starts with 1 force ability and you can get her second one immediately. And then you get the 3rd and 4th at the same time. But that's later. I thought it was here. No, you know what? I think I'm in the wrong room. And it was somewhere on the right. But I think you go up the stairs and then to the right. And it's like down here. Incidentally, if you look at the characters' HP levels, Marivel's max HP is 2830, Lilka's is 3285, so she's significantly more. Marivel actually naturally has more HP than Lilka. but we've had Lilka since the beginning of the game, and we used the up HP stat, personal skill, to give her more max HP. So she's had more level ups to increase that maximum, which is why she's higher. If you don't get that personal skill, then Marivel will have more. Unless, of course, you also do a low Ashley run to keep Ashley's level low, so that Marivel will join at a low level. Those are hard. I talked about that in the previous week, I think. Alright, is it here? Yes, okay. So if you look closely, you can see there is a little light symbol. Hit that with your electrical. An incarnation of destructive power awakens from a time long past. Its power makes the earth rumble and crushes all who oppose it. Again, with the trying to be spooky. Another red one. Well, that was quick. I don't think I've ever seen that before. A battle where there was only one enemy and it immediately ran. Here we go. Asgard is a modified Type 3 heavy armor attack golem you can summon to crush your enemies. There being a golem called Asgard is a commonality to Wild Arms games. I don't think there was one in the original, because they just referred to it as the Earth Golem, but I think it was supposed to be called Asgard, because if I recall correctly, it was called Asgard in the remake. And then 2 just has Marivel's special attack, and then in Wild Arms 5, there's also a golem called Asgard. Don't think there was in 3 or 4. Alright, let's go back to Palace Village. Here. Okay. So what we're actually trying to do at this point, there are we're trying to create a device that can trap the Kuiper Belt, essentially, but that requires enormous amounts of elemental mana. So we have to go to these 4 levels called the Raypoints to liberate each of the forms of mana. And each of the Raypoints is themed around a particular element, and also serves as sort of the conclusion of a character's arc. They learn their last force ability and get their last tool here. Raypoint Flam is Lilka's, so we'll get her last tool right here, actually. Change Rod. Press the square button to shoot magic bullets again. Hitting a large gem with a magic bullet turns it into a gem block. Hit again, it will return to a gem. There we go. I recall correctly, these Giga Flames have a spell we can learn. I think all the Gigas did. Because each of these Raypoints has a big gorilla monster called a Giga something. Yeah. Let's strike. Hey, Boo! Yeah, I'm up to Raypoint Flam. And I got Marivel, as you can see. Yeah, to an extent. There's 4 of them, you can tackle them in more or less any order. Each of them, to some degree or another, center a particular character. Though that was downplayed in the Diablo covers. Diablo covers were also a lot more formulaic in their visual layout. They all look the same. Whereas the Raypoints all look distinct. Which is nice. Some very fun puzzles in this one. Maybe it was the Haberrans that the skill drained from. Or maybe I just have bad luck. I mean, literally, Marivel's luck stat is a factor. I'll try the Giga Flame again, because I'm pretty sure it was the Giga Flame. Use Ashley's Hurl Knife all the time. Booty Call is completely useless. And Flare Gun has 1 mandatory use. Yep. Yeah. This had the most tools of any Wild Arms game, and I think you can tell that they were kind of struggling for ways that you could use them creatively. Because there's some tools that just don't get used much. Anyway, for all of these we gotta light up the red ones without lighting up the gray ones. Change Rod is mostly used in this dungeon, and then it has 1 or 2 other places that it comes up. I've been thinking about that lately because, I found out that Armed Fantasia, apparently, each character only has 1 tool, although they call them gadgets. But I was like, that's not very much. And then, when you think about it, you don't really need that many. the point is not to have a ton of things available to you. The point is to be able to design interesting puzzles and to have pieces that interact with those puzzles in different ways. You know what I mean? Speaking of Armed Fantasia, still don't have a release date on that. I think it's clear it's not coming out this year. I mean, they could pull a team sharing and just all of a sudden be like, yeah, we're just about done, we'll be out in 2 weeks. But I don't think they're going to do that. I imagine at some point this year, I have to go back to Lilka. At some point this year, they'll probably give an update on when they're now estimating it's going to come out, but it's probably going to come out next year. That's my guess, anyway. Same 2 guys every battle. Let's see Asgard, shall we? For some reason, freaking everything is coming out on the 23rd of October. Plants vs. Zombies remake, Power Watch Simulator 2, Scooby-Doo DLC for House Flipper 2, and the new Katamari. Oh. I hadn't heard of any of that. But then I don't keep up with a lot of new stuff. That's cool though. I might have to check out that PvZ remake. I still replay Plants vs. Zombies a lot. It's a very relaxing game, you know? At least I think so. It's relaxing, not really because of like the tone or anything, but just because it's easy. It's really easy. And I like having a game where I don't have to set up like a keyboard position or anything, I can just click. That's a key part of relaxation for me. Plants vs. Zombies. And probably Balatro is the only other main one that is really good for that mode. Very much looking forward to the new Katamari, though it'll probably be a couple years before it's on sale enough to be able to play it. Yeah, Katamari's a classic. Your lonely rolling star. Okay. I mean, after you beat it the first time, it does get harder on the replay, but you don't really get to select the difficulty setting, which is kind of annoying. Because sometimes I like a challenge, and sometimes I just want to relax, you know? I love the Raypoint theme song, by the way. and naturally the game cuts away from it, and I say, hey, check out this cool music. I think it's fun. So with the blue ones, you have to light them all up in this specific time frame. If you just try here, I'll show you how you naively do it. You just try it like this. See, it's not quite enough. And I missed one. I'll show you the smart way to do it after I ban this spam. Okay. So what you do is you do the orthogonal directions. Yeah, I mean, I think you technically can do it the naive way, but it's real hard. The easier way is do the orthogonal directions, then turn it 45 degrees and do the other orthogonal directions. Okay, I kind of messed it up there, but you can see, like, because of the way that movement works in this game, like it's hard to end your movement on a diagonal, and if you just hold it down, it's just kind of difficult to coordinate that. So the better way is to do the orthogonals. Anyway, boss fight. None of the Raypoints have bosses at the end. They all have bosses in the middle, which is an interesting touch. Also, all the bosses are the same, except for the element. And the element doesn't even matter because they all have mirror code, so you'd be a fool to use any elemental matter. They just reflect it all back. These boss fights are relatively hard, though. As much as I would enjoy having Marivel here, we gotta have someone else. I'm gonna try Cannon at first, but I might have to switch her with Tim here. I am kind of tempted to try something well about that. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't actually remember if Mirror Coat also applies to the shield. I think it does, though. Well, let's just build up FP. That's fine. Did I ever get... No, I didn't. Okay. I'll make sure and do that. Oh dare. It's gonna make the battle take longer. I know the battle seems pretty easy at first. It does get harder after you kill the shield. So, if you're having trouble with these, just going straight for the boss and ignoring the shield is an option. However, it's not that hard in the grand scheme of things. Let's start the phalanx. I would like to unlock Eagle Claw if possible. Save that health. How does a shield have health? Good question. Well, now it doesn't. Anyway, now that the shield is gone, it can start using Caloric Nova, which it will. On the other elements, we'd switch to Gunblaze instead of Offensor, but because Gunblaze is fire elemental, it would actually do less damage. There's Caloric Nova. Wait, okay. Ouch. That is a lot. But thanks to up parameters, Lilka should be able to go before the boss, which is the most important. Mystic Life. I don't think I have Life Love yet. Could be wrong. We'll check. Don't you have to have Earthquake though? Well, I mean, I guess if I had done Raypoint Geo first. This is my first Raypoint in this run. Yeah. Yeah, no. We'll be able to do that later, don't worry. We can Mystic Big Berry though, that's pretty similar. That's true, but Tim has so little health. Plus I like Lilka. Also, I just won. In terms of combat skill, I'm not sure that that's true. In terms of, like, who they are as characters? Absolutely, yes. I don't dislike Tim, but Lilka is so important to me. Gotta equip the cute tiara, because it's important to wear cute things. That's true. That is true. So now we gotta dodge the fireballs. Gotcha. Thanks, Puka. We can actually go. There we go. That's perfect. No. Again. Up there. And then I think that's the last one. There we go. Okay. Guys got a lot of health. They always die right after you say that. Oh yeah, that's right. That's not a puzzle, it's just making me backtrack. Or an evil claw. There. Alright, and we're most of the way through the dungeon at this point. Here we have another one of those, turn the camera angle. And that should do it. I love that she enters this room running. She's so energetic and excited. Hey Lilka, young daughter. So each of the characters in your party, aside from Ashley, the lead, and Marivel, the optional character, is going to have like sort of the emotional conclusion to their character growth in this Raypoint, in their respective Raypoint chapter, which will also give them their final force ability. Here's Lilka's. She's of course dealing with her inferiority complex. Understand that it would be impossible. You don't have magic so you can become someone else. God, she still thinks everyone would rather have her sister, a character we've never seen, who is only spoken in flashbacks, and we don't even know her first name. But she still thinks, like, Terry popping in and being annoying. I'm not sure what you're. Oh, Terry, right, from Salesman. Yeah. It's just that, you know, when you think that you're not as good at stuff as everyone else, everyone would rather have someone else, even though, like, Lilka has done incredible things. She's extremely valuable. And even if she weren't, everyone loves her. They wouldn't trade her away. But she still can't see that because she's got that. Yeah, yeah. I was at first thinking, you know, I'd like to see more of Lilka's sister, but it's honestly, I think it works better with seeing as little of her as we do because, like, it highlights the dichotomy between how the character actually is and how she sees herself. Yeah, yeah, exactly. We can't do that comparison. There are things only you can do. Their magic isn't quest sorcery. Hocus pocus, fizzy pocus. It's so silly. It repels fire and restores laughter. Oh, I love Lilka so much. I know I say that every time I play this game, but it's true. She's my favorite character. There we go. Dual cast. Dual cast is a force skill for Lilka. Magic will be concentrated and activate 2 crest sorcery commands consecutively. Dual cast was also a force ability learned by Cecilia at the end of Wild Arms 1, although Lilka's is better because under certain circumstances Lilka can actually unlock like level 3 crest sorcery, super powerful abilities. I'll show you one of those later. But for right now, we're mostly done for the day. There are a couple minor things I wanted to do before I forget. Really super quick. Stop by Guild Galad. And talk to Noel. By experimenting on a live dragon, I have created Full Clip, a device that transfers the user's telepathic strength to an arm. It is somewhat difficult to control, but I am sure you can handle it. An ode to this place? You're making a pun and I don't get it. Build a ballad for Guild Gal. That's good. I like that. So that's actually Ashley's last force ability. Because unlike the other characters, he got his 100 FP ability relatively early, that's his access. His last one is his 75, and it's that just allows him to fire off all the bullets in his gun at once. Computer doing thing. I think there's like something sticky in my computer's down arrow because sometimes I'm not pushing it right now. See my hands. I think it's just the keyboard. It's definitely not the emulator because I've seen it in other programs. Anyway, you might have seen the other glowing green spot on the map around this area when we were looking for Crimson Castle. This is the Werewolf's Den. Which is an extremely short level with like 3 rooms. Oh, I went to the right. I think it's supposed to go to the left. Black Sabbath. Who are you still in chat? Okay. I always forget if Lucid is IE or EI. See, the general rule of English spelling is I before E except after C, which would mean it's Luceid. I think it's actually the other way. I think it's IE. But I was going to ask you to be safe. Because we have to spell it right. Always adds and when the sound is in. Yeah. Or in the one I remember was A sounds like neighbor and way. Petrification, how dare you? So I think it's IE. I'll try IE first, and if that doesn't work, I'll try EI. Sense the waves of a garden. Suddenly, Ashley vanishes. Oh no, Ashley vanishes after you. I am the guardian of desire. If you want this power, give my name. So you remember Lucide from the memory maze. Anastasia said she was sending him to join Ashley, and this is what she meant. Japanese stuff like how Elfen Lied. Well, to be fair, although Elfen Lied is obviously a Japanese series, the name is not Japanese. That's German, I believe. Like Lied, Lied, is, I believe, German for song. I could be wrong in the meaning, but I know. Okay, yeah, I've never seen it. I know that name. I took a semester of German in college, and I do remember in German, IEs and EIs are much more consistent than they are in English. Because IE is always E, and EI is always I. Unless there's an umlaut, I think. Oh yeah? Okay. I remember the grammar very well, but not the vocabulary. That's kind of how I am with languages in general. What is it that you desire, Ashley? Peaceful daily life. Maria and Grandma, Brad and Lilka too, everyone comes. Days with no need to fight. was a time when I wanted to be a hero, but that was to protect everyone's happiness. I didn't want to see anyone suffer. But there's a simpler answer. The truth is, I wanted to protect Maria's smiling face. Unlike the other Guardians, Lucy doesn't appear in this game anyway as a medium. Rather, we just get the attack Mad Lucy, which is just a more powerful version of Hot Fencer. Is a noble guardian for which no medium exists. In my case, my presence alone guarantees grand victories. But frail humans need to borrow the powers of the Guardians. Normally this game has the courtesy to take you out of the level after you complete it. Admittedly, this is a very short level, but it's also a dark level where you can't see where you're going. I mean, you can come back here after you get the, after you get the flare gun that allows you to light up dark rooms, but that's the very end of the game. I don't want to wait that long. So I think that'll about do it for today. Let's go back to Town of Maria. We'll save and quit. And we'll have more Raypoints to knock out next time. I think I could probably do the 3 remaining Raypoints in a single day, I think. Should be able to do that. And there we go. That'll do it. Thank you all so much for joining me, and hope you have a wonderful day. See you next time. Bye, everyone.